In the annals of history, few names echo with the thunder of conquest like Genghis Khan. Born Temujin around 1162 on the harsh Mongolian steppes, he was a child of the Borjigin clan, marked by fate from his first breath. This is the tale of a boy who became a legend, a man who bent the world to his will. A clot of blood in his tiny fist at birth, an omen of greatness or slaughter. Temujin's father, Yesugei, a chieftain, named him after a slain foe, hoping to imbue him with strength.
My son, Temujin, will be a warrior. The steppes will bow to him one day.
But the steppes are a cruel cradle. At 9, Temujin's world shatters when Yesugei is poisoned by the rival Tatar tribe. The Borjigin cast out his family, leaving Temujin, his mother, Hoelun, and his siblings to starve on the unforgiving plains.
I'll not die a slave. I'll rise, and they'll pay for this shame.
Now a young man, Temujin seeks to unite the fractured Mongol tribes. He forges bonds through blood and marriage, swearing brotherhood with Jamuka, marrying Berte of the Ongirat tribe. Temujin's vision transcends personal grudges. He seeks a united Mongol nation, breaking the old tribal ways. He builds a meritocracy, where a shepherd can rise to general if his skill proves true, where loyalty trumps bloodlines. He marries his daughters to defeated chieftains, binding tribes through family. Those who surrender are spared. Those who resist are crushed. The Tatars, who poisoned Yesugei, are annihilated, their name erased from the steppes. For years, Temujin wages a relentless campaign. He outsmarts the Naiman, using feigned retreats to lure their armies into traps. He ambushes the Merkit, scattering their remnants. The Karait fall under his banner when Togrul's son turns against him, and Temujin seizes the chance to absorb their strength. Finally, he faces Jamuka in a brutal showdown on the steppes, their armies clashing in a storm of arrows and steel. Jamuka is defeated, his pride his undoing.
You've won, Temujin. I'll not live as your shadow. Kill me. Let my end be swift.
By 1206, the steppes belong to Temujin. At a grand Kurultai on the Onon River, the tribes gather, warriors, shamans, chieftains, all united under one banner. They proclaim him Genghis Khan, universal ruler. He transforms the Mongols into a war machine, standardizing military units, creating the Yasa laws to govern his people.
In 1209, I struck Shishia.
Genghis Khan's first target is the Shishia kingdom in the northwest, a wealthy state that defies his demands for tribute.
Their capital, Yinchuan, stood with stone walls like a fortress. I scorned brute siege diverted the Yellow River with channels and dams to flood their foundations. This strategy broke their spirit. I sent merchants bearing peace to Atra in the west. They were murdered. I asked for justice. They slaughtered my envoys. I do not forget. I do not forgive.
Mongol columns rode like storms, fast, brutal, disciplined. Not a charge, but a cold, surgical dismembering of an empire. Cities fell before they could cry out. Armies were swept aside before they knew they were surrounded. In 1220, Bukhara, part of the Khwarezmian Empire. Jewel cities of the Silk Road, gateways to Persia and the Islamic world. They were centers of science, trade, and towering mosques.
I offered Bukhara peace, but they chose defiance. So I spared only those with skills, the engineers and scholars. The rest vanished. I forged the Yam system. Riders galloped between stations, spaced a day apart, with fresh horses, delivering my commands swiftly across my vast empire, ensuring unity and control.
In the year 1222, Genghis Khan dispatched Subutai and Jebe on a long-range mission west of the Khwarezmian Empire. They crossed the Caucasus Mountains with stealth and speed to gathering intelligence.
Subutai and I had reached the vast steppes of the Rus. We watched their armies gather, bold, disorganized, hungry for glory. We offered them a shadow, then gave them hope. We pretended to run. They chased us like hounds through dust. When their princes were far from aid, we turned. Our arrows swept down like a bitter storm. The Rus's coalition broke in panic, and victory was ours.
In 1227, I returned to Shishia, fierce as ever, my heart set on their end. We besieged their capital, Yinchuan, its walls crumbling under my wrath. But fate turned cruel, charging their lines. My horse stumbled on jagged rocks, throwing me harm. My body broke, ribs shattered, pain searing.
In his tent, a fever gripped the great Khan, his breath shallow, fading. He knew death loomed, yet commanded silence. His sons, Ogedei and Tolui, masked their grief, faces stone, hiding his passing. They stormed Yinchuan, breaching its gates, in a whirlwind of steel and fire. Xixia fell, their emperor kneeling in the ashes broken before the Khan's legacy. After Genghis, Batu and Subutai led the army, their banners flew over Poland, Hungary, even as far as Vienna. In 1276, they reached Hangzhou, the glittering capital of the Song dynasty in China. The Mongols cornered the Song fleet at Yamen. It was one of the largest naval battles in history. Surrounded, the Song fleet burned. The boy emperor, just 7 years old, was carried into the sea. In 1271, Kublai Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan, declared the Yuan dynasty, ruling from a new capital, Dadu, now known as Beijing.